What's going on, ladies and gents? Coming at you with something that's really different than what we normally do on the channel. So as you guys can already tell, this is like an in-person video. Uh, so we're actually going to do a quick little fun deck profile, I guess, of the paper deck that I just put together today. And I played at a local tournament, and I really did poorly, but you know it happens to the best of us. Paper Yu-Gi-Oh is very different. I haven't played in a really long time. But nonetheless, I'll just kind of run through what I played, and then we can go through the round by round. So I played one Lord and two Eldritch. So ideally, this is 2 and 2 of like two of these and then two of these, but unfortunately, that was not the case. And I think I would bump this up to 3 because there was one situation where both got banished on me, and it just, yeah, I essentially was doomed from there. But that's it for the monsters. So just the 3. No, nothing crazy at Lava Golem, and you guys can see that's on the side. And the side's not really done. Like the other main thing that I want to kind of get across is that I basically built this deck with like $200. So I'm just kind of showing you guys what I was thinking maybe would be good. It wasn't particularly good today because I'm missing some key cards. But you know, we're evolving, and we'll get there eventually. So 3 extravagance. This card's insane, especially when you don't have extra deck cards, because yeah, we'll get into that a little later. That's it for like the draw spell. So I kind of have it sorted in a little bit of a different manner than just, you know, simple spells. And then for the like Eldritch specific spells, we played 1 white, 1 black, and then we played actually played the triple Eldland. So a lot of people are not playing the triple Eldland, and I'm kind of seeing why people aren't playing this. Not that the card's like not super good, it's just that the format's so fast that like sometimes the best thing you can do is just play more gates. Which is unfortunately not what we're doing. We're just trying. I kind of thought locals would be a little bit more fair than it was today, but I just like played against DP and Adventure. So I played against like Based or whatever round 1, and that deck probably was like $1,100, just like not even counting all the like swag. I mean, it was you know about like a $2,000 deck that he had. So he kind of whooped me, and he was kind of he had an illegal activation of Small World that my friend saw. He was just spectating the rounds, but you know, it happens. It happens. I'm not gonna say I was even playing close to optimally. So it's really my fault for doing as poorly as I did, but you know, it happens. And then I guess round 2, or I don't want to get too crazy into it, but because I'm still kind of going through the deck profile, but yeah, the Eldland, I think, might be too slow for this format. We might just need more floodgates. Like, essentially is what I'm thinking, because of how crazy the, like, adventure and, like, the base deck, essentially. And then, like, pretty much everything's playing DPE Scythe. So, like, you also need to be aware of that. And I guess Scythe doesn't really matter in our deck, which is really good, but I don't know. That's another consideration. Like, maybe Lava Golem needs to be in the main deck for the crazy stuff. And then we just played the end of the spells is just going to be 1 Called by the Grave. I feel like there's just like a lot of super good applications for this. People like run through their stuff pretty quickly, and you can call by like Scythe to like stop it. I mean, that's never really what you're wanting to do, but like you can stop like an Ash or yeah, pretty much just Ash. Ash really hurts your deck. I got Ashed a couple times, crucially, and I did not have this card. I wish this card was at 3. But it's only at 1, so we're gonna run 1 because I just am a believer in it. Oh, shout out to my my friend Alex for loaning me the callback for sure. The swaggy prismatic one. Could have gotten a common, but come on, just so nice. And that's actually gonna round out the spells completely, if you guys can believe it. And then moving on to, I guess, the Eldritch specific spells. We're on the 3 Eldritch of Sanguine, the Elixir of Scarlet Sanguine. I don't know why I just completely like could not speak there, but I feel like it's pretty obvious. It's like pretty much the very best card from the Eldritch engine. These cards plus you a ton, and of course, like summoning out Eldritch is kind of your only win condition. So especially if you're not like playing extra cards like me, so like I can't even make link plays. Just don't worry about it, guys. Just don't worry about it. And then we're going to run Tribble, Conk. This is like our other win condition. I think one of the main reasons we had such a bad time today is that I just kind of drew poorly. Like, I don't even think I resolved one Conquistador all day that destroyed a card. I maybe have resummoned it or summoned it out just to like defend myself from like game or whatever, but like, yeah, it was just a sad day. Like, Eldritch never really got him onto the board today. We only played 3 rounds, so I mean, it happens sometimes. You just can't really play the game. But we really run 2 Hawk. Potentially more than 2 Hawk is actually right. That's yet to be seen. Perhaps the third one will go in. I don't know necessarily how broken this card is. I guess it's really getting as like DPE, but you have to like bait the DPE out first, which can be really hard for your deck. Like, right? Like, sometimes you need the card to bait out the DPE, but you don't have the card to bait out the DPE. And you might have this card, which is like you don't want maybe another version of this card. So it's just really tough. DP is just a really really rough one. And then we run the 1 Gold Knife Forever. 2 Durable Solemn Judgment that just costs like 1 tribute is pretty good. Obviously, you want to be able to protect your back row, which is why you want to play more than 1 Lord of the Heavenly Prison. That card's just $40 or $35 or something. So it might not necessarily. I'd be playing more if I had 1 more. I just pulled this one, so I have it. And then, so that's it for like the Eldritch specific traps, and then we'll move into like the real traps. So we're on 3 TT. This card's really good, just not against Dragoon. Right. Read Dragoon for the first time today after activating a turn of tribute. I'm really good at the game, guys. Promise, I promise. Maybe if I just would have read more today, and like I just trusted my opponents a lot, like honestly, and it was not good. And then we run 3 Strike. I feel like this is pretty obvious, as well as the 3 Judgment. I feel like Judgment's pretty obvious. This is really, really bad going second though. Just heads up. It's not the worst card in the game going second. Also, I'm committing like a sin here, right? Because I've got 2 golds and 1 super. I really like the super though. It looks really nice. I wish I had played the entire time so that I could have like picked these up when they came out. You know what I mean? But like, I'm like behind the trend. It's hard to get into the game as it is. And then 2 Ice Dragon's Prison. I need a third for sure. This card's so bonkers. This is like your DP answer. This card like breaks boards. This card's just so worth it. And 3 is like 100% right. Dogmatic Punishment. I saw this card once today, and it was actually like alright. Like, it wasn't the worst thing in the world. There's like other realities where I add more Dogmatica to this deck, and it becomes like a Dogmatica Eldritch deck, because we are missing a key card that I'll talk about in just a second that actually makes the Dogmaticas kind of better in this deck. So that may be where this deck is going. But we're just going to have to see. And then for the gates, we didn't really have all the gates we needed, unfortunately, but we've got a couple of the good ones for the format for sure. So this isn't Master Duel, so the format is pretty different. Like, there's DP and the adventure stuff. So we don't really play Rivalry of the Warlords, which is a card that I really believed in a whole lot. There's just not really that much Drytron in the meta, and obviously it's getting into Drytron and stuff. And there's other stuff in Master Duel that I can't think of right now that made me prefer Rivalry over the Gozen. But in this format specifically, I feel like the Gozen is just getting more value. It's just they can't really make their extra deck plays like their Verte plays. They can't make their adventure stuff, like it can like generate a bunch of stuff, but like they can never like link it into anything meaningful when this card's on the board. This card's also like, I played against a striker player today, so this card was pretty sick against that. Unfortunately, I also drew this card versus a Dark Magician player who also beat me because, I read Dragoon today. I actually didn't read it. He just told me what it did. after I activated Torrential Tribute. I'll just go ahead and bring up that traumatic event one more time. So obviously, the glaring hole in this deck is 3 skill drain. Unfortunately, there's no copies in the store that I went to, and the copies that exist in the world right now are about 25 bucks. And I don't really want to spend $90 more on the game, so perhaps the actual best thing to do is just get the Dogmatica cards and just put Dogmatica into this deck and make it a Dogmatica Eldritch deck. That's yet to be seen. I think that might be what the angle is for me. Alright, and then we'll just quickly run through the extra. So we're missing, we're missing everything. So this is like a fake extra deck, so I just want to go ahead and just show you guys. We're in the Omega, the Entis. I mean, really had a 3-card extra deck, right? Omega Entis and Nightmare Unicorn. Entis, obviously, for Dogmatic Punishment, and Omega also for Dogmatic Punishment. They're both pretty good, and then, Nightmare Unicorn is a great card, so if you can make it, it's actually pretty sick. But you need like 3 cards in this deck specifically to end up making this guy, because, you're never really link climbing, and it's pretty difficult. You want the other Nightmares, not this one, but these are the only 3 cards I can actually I can make one more. I can make Hipposhojin as well, if I have 2, any cards in my deck make Hipposhojin. Pretty sick, am I right? And then that's it. Yeah, I guess this card is good for Dogmatic Punishment, right? Because we can send it, and this is a card you actually play in the extra deck because you can make a rank 10s. But unfortunately for me, I didn't have the card to stack under this, so I could never end up making this guy. And then the rest of my extra deck is literally just look, Marincess, Cataster, Mathmex, Cyber Dark Dragon, Gunkan Ships, Chaos, Soryuja Gate. It was a travesty today, We didn't have the cards we needed. We didn't have an extra deck, whatsoever. But I played in the tournament, and I guess I ripped the Band-Aid off of getting absolutely stomped in my first paper tournament back, so I don't have to do that again. Also, man, they did my boy Omega dirty by printing him as a rare. I guess he's a gold letter rare. There's a lot of cards that I own that are rares, and I'm like, wow, I can't believe they printed this as a rare. It's kind of disrespectful. And then we're going to go through the pathetic side deck. It's kind of just funny. Triple Lava. Double Rivalry. This definitely should be 3 Rivalry. I don't know. I had 3. I don't know what happened to my 3rd. Maybe I'll find it later. Double Compulse is literally... These cards are... They'll never go in ever. And then I guess I should have sided this in... I should have sided this in versus Dark Magician, actually, so... Funny. And 1 Imperm. If I had 3 Imperm, I would definitely... I just don't have stuff. So that's it. That's all. That's my whole... that's my whole everything. Stuff is really expensive right now. I mean, even stuff I would love to side Ash Blossoms, but I didn't play the game when those cards are printed as in a structure deck. So I would have gotten them when they were $1 or $2 or whatever. I would have just bought 3 structure decks. Is really what would have happened, because that's what I used to do. Is just used to buy the structure decks. But I just didn't have that opportunity. So unfortunately, I'm kind of clawing my way into a game that is very hostile to new players right now in terms of its price tag. But I figured I would bring you guys my little, hopefully not too sad. It was a good time. I mean, I got to see my buddy. I got to spend some time in the card shop. I guess I made a couple friends in the store as well today. So it was overall a positive experience. I was pretty bummed at myself on the drive back, and just bummed overall that I was unable to perform. But in reality, when people are activating cards that cost more than my entire deck list, I just need to kind of have that perspective that it's going to be a severe handicap for me to try to win. But that's why we have the black Dragon Mat sleeves, guys, because the black Dragon Shield sleeves, because we're the bad guys, and yeah, we're just playing. It's like black Air Force One. It's just playing dirty. You just play trap cards. Every time I set 5 cards, my opponent just And that pit in my stomach just like, yeah, I just have to accept it. I'm just the bad guy, you know? I'm not even going to draw because it's all just going to be gates or whatever. It's not even shuffled. But I also bought that. So so I have like a nice mat, and you guys, yeah, I guess I can. Where is it? I'm trying to see where my other mat is. My like, yeah. Oh, here it is. It was just like under here. But I have like this mat from like when I played. Here, I'll just kind of. It's fine. Just lay it on top of the deck. My World Championship qualifier, like 2016 mat. So it was pretty cool. I got this for competing in that nationals. I believe it was in Pittsburgh. Yeah, it was. So that was a super cool experience. I was way better at the game back then, and my budget was also way bigger, which is kind of messed up. But I was like an actual good player back then. So it's gonna take me a while to get back to where I was. But I forgot that mat today, so I had to buy this mat. So I bought this Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds Extreme Victories mat. I'm a big fan of the 5Ds anime, and I just love that era of Yu-Gi-Oh! Overall. Even though I didn't play it, it was like my childhood. You know what I mean? I was born in 1999, so this is like, you know, I was like 14. I wasn't really playing the game though. I didn't really realize you could play it in real life. I didn't realize it was like a game back then. I kind of thought it was just like an anime. If I had known it was a game, I mean, I'm sure I would have been in. But it's super cool. Like the one cool thing about it is that like it's like perfect. You know what I mean? The cards like fit perfectly on there. I mean, duh, right? Because this is Yu-Gi-Oh! Mad made by Konami, but it's also nice to have columns, right? Because that actually matters. What I would actually be using next time, I'll be using my my red Festival Ground. That mat is near and dear to my heart, and I'm sure I'll perform better on it as well. It's just kind of it's something that I've always had, and yeah, I'm excited to continue on this Yu-Gi-Oh! Journey, I guess. Even though tonight was a bit of a disappointment. Hopefully, maybe we can see about picking up more decks, see about picking up some kind of interesting packages for this deck. An extra deck is like priority number one for me right now. I'm not even going to lie. Like the skill drains, they might just have to wait. Because this deck was okay last format with one skill drain. It's just gonna have to be okay with no skill drains for me for now, which I think I can do. I think I can manage this, even though the crowd of my locals, I mean, like even the bottom tables were playing DPE and Scythe Lock, and yeah, it's kind of hurtful to like have your opponent just like activate Fusion Destiny off of the top and like activate a card you can't afford. But it's okay. It's okay. You know, we're in to have fun, and that's what we did. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy. This is a very different type of video, and I don't know how it'll land, to be honest. But if you guys did, why don't you slap a like on it? If I can get maybe a feels bad man in the comments for me losing in the chat. Also, I just like the way this looks. Yeah, I lost all my matches today. But it happens. It happens, you know. I had a completely suboptimal deck. I had you know, years of missed experiences, tons of missed timings for me where I could have activated a card in a more optimal timing. But unlike Master Duel, you know, real life Yu-Gi-Oh doesn't just pause for you. You know, you might just be like, you go, and your opponent like is like 5 steps further down the chain. You're like, oh wait, I actually want to activate Ice Dragon's Mirror, buddy. It's like, you know, it's kind of, I don't know. I just need to get better at being like, no, think. And like understanding like what starts a chain and what doesn't start a chain. Like, I don't know if he was explaining it to me wrong, or if I misunderstood him, or if he was like misleading me. I have no idea. But somebody today told me like DPE like came back like a Mech Knight, you know what I mean? Where it was just like off the field and it like popped back. I didn't read the card, so it really is on me, regardless of the situation. He might have been telling me that it was going to summon back regardless, but I was under the impression that it wasn't summoning back. So yeah, I missed a few key opportunities for getting rid of DPE. That sucks. And another thing that I did is I didn't realize that this card had to be activated during my main phase. Yeah, it kind of sucks. I wish that I knew that because I would have won another game today, most likely with the Lord in the hand. I need to use the Lord more. I need another Lord as well. That's a key. But anyway, this is the real end of the video. I promise, guys. It's been your boy Neo Synthesis. Peace.